Alrighty, take it away, Marcin.
Okay, hello everyone. This is Marcin Siewnicki. Welcome to M365 Chicago virtual event. Today I will talk about approvals in Microsoft Teams. First, please join and support Chicago Public Schools and donate something. It's very important to help others during that really crazy time. Oh, there's a QR code. You can scan it or click, copy the link and go and do something positive. And one small slide, but very important. Big thanks to our sponsors and our we saw that sponsor video from AvePoint and our main sponsor Vim. Okay, my name is Marcin Siewnicki. It's tricky last name. I am Microsoft 365 consultant. I'm from Warsaw, Poland. I work mostly in SharePoint Online and Teams and modern workplace. So everything around modern workplace, automation, business processes, and collaboration. And that's why I will talk today about approvals in Microsoft Teams. So first, quick introduction to approvals, what it is and how we can use it, which scenarios. Then I will talk and mainly show you approvals application in Teams. Next, a few things and maybe some demo about new features, very important features coming to Teams in the next couple of months. And at the end, some two advanced scenarios when you can use approvals in business processes in Teams, but very specific and more advanced than this native approval application. So approvals, it's I think critical part of most, if not every business process, business workflows, and you can find approval in document approval system, management acceptance process, official signature, back office processes, etc. Approvals can be formal or informal. Well, if you ask someone during a call or online meeting, if you can record a session, record a meeting, that's informal approval. So you ask for approval. If every attendee accept or reject, so you get the output and you can start recording or not. It's also one example of a approval system or approvals. So approvals are everywhere, and for approvals there is this is an example of approval when we ask our manager, you can if you want a business trip, so we can ask our manager and our manager can accept or reject. So most likely there is one person or maybe multiple persons, but there's always one stage for very small approval. So and at the end we have yes, no, or maybe some additional options. And Teams, well, because we spent a lot of time in Teams, chatting during calls, working with documents. Microsoft introduced this year approval application, and in this application, this is dedicated application only for approvals in entire Microsoft 365 services. This is personal application. It's central place for all approvals in Office 365. So you don't need to care about is it create any flow in Power Automate flow or in Teams. This is one place. You don't need to switch between windows, between applications, tabs, etc. You can, because it's integrated, it's native application for Teams. You can start approval directly from Teams and even directly from a chat. And it works directly from a chat. So you can make some actions from Teams, from chat. So you don't need to switch. You don't need to go to email as in classic Power Automate approval. Okay, so I now switch to my demo because it's mainly this session is mainly based on demo. So let's go back to Teams. So first, if you want to start with approval in Teams, you can go to Apps and search for approvals application. You can install it because I've done it before the session, so I don't need to do that. I can find it in left-hand menu. So when you install this application, go to left-hand menu to approvals application, and then the approvals app will appear on entire Teams screen. And what we have here, so you can find all your existing approvals in one place, both running and finished. So there is a filter section when you can filter approvals, but currently you can't filter if it's finished or waiting for approval. So it's quite well, it's not so easy to filter and to go through that all list of approvals, but I think it will be in the next update. It should be in the next update. So here you can see all your existing approvals, both received and sent. So if I click send, there's approvals that I created and sent to someone, and in received a section all approvals assigned to me. So waiting for my actions or finished or approved or rejected by me. Okay, and a very important thing, we can start approval directly from this place. So there is a new approval request button if on the right top on the window, and if I click this, I can start creating a new approval directly from Teams. Of course, I must provide some name. Business trip to Chicago. I must provide approvers. Use myself, but I can enter multiple people if I add someone else. Let's say John. Then I can select the option if I require a response from all approvers. So the process, the approval will wait for every single person in this field, or just need one approval from the list. So first person will approve and the process is finished. But I will save only with one approver. I can add some additional details to this approval. Let's say conference, and well, I can add attachment. Currently only one attachment. I can choose from OneDrive or upload it from my computer. This one maybe 15. Great. And I can modify default responses. By default, you have two options: approve or and reject. If I select custom, I can change it to yes, no, or something like that. But I can't. It's not possible to add third option. So if I want to ask and allow approvers to do more actions, it's not possible using approvals. Okay, and that's it. Very simple process. Only type some basic information, add attachments if needed, and just click send. And now approval will start. Okay, let's wait a few more seconds, and I will get a notification directly in Teams about that approval. So I don't need to switch to email. No, all will stay in Teams. Okay, but now it's a little bit slow. Oh yeah, as you can see, there's it's gone. But in activity section, I get a new message that a new approval is waiting for me. So business trip to Chicago with status, with information, and with this document. So I can click, and the document will open in a new window and in new tab. And I can add some comments maybe. And I can make some action, yes, no, or by default it's reject, accept, approve, or reject. Because I am creator, owner of this request, I can also cancel it if it's by mistake or I want to make some changes. I can cancel it. But end user, so the guy, the person who will receive that approval, there's only two options: yes, no, accept, reject, or two options that we define in the approval process. Document is, as you can see, document is stored. Each attachment for approval is stored in OneDrive. So in my personal OneDrive for Business. So this is very similar process as when you attach the attachment or send a file using chat. So it's stored in your own OneDrive. Then it means that you can find all your attachments from approvals in your OneDrive. So it's easy to find and modify or download on remove it completely. And now I can accept or reject. If I click yes, again directly from Teams. Yeah, I get up because I'm the owner of that approval. I get notification that its final status is yes. So I can go to this and check who approved, when there's the time, and if there's any comments, I will get that comment. As you can see, there's a OK from as a comment. So it's very simple to create such approval. But first thing, if I go to approval the document to this attachment, maybe not this point, I will go to my my OneDrive to show you when all those files are stored. There is approvals document folder created in your OneDrive, and all files are saved to this location. And what is very important, all files are shared. As you can see, this sharing column are shared to approvers, of course. But if I click this, this document is shared for entire organization, and everyone with this link can edit this file. What does it mean? That if approver share this link with someone else from my company, that person can go and modify that file. Just keep it in mind. Of course, you can go and change it, but it's only you must know how to do this. You must know that you share that file, etc. But by default, it's shared using link with edit options to entire organization. And yeah. So go back to approvals, and if I go to my application again, yeah, this business trip to Chicago approval is accepted. So in yes status, if I go and click this, I get the same options with document and people involved in that process. So quite simple, very simple. Just click and send to someone, to multiple people. As you can see, this one was sent to. There's no options. Yeah, but it was sent to 3 people. Okay, next, because it's integrated with Teams, we can go and maybe to Teams, to this channel, start a new conversation. And if I go and click these 3 dots, there's an approval. So I can start approval process directly from chat, from Teams chat, from channel chats, or from personal chat. It doesn't matter, the function is, it works the same way. So I can select and what does it mean? And I can start approval from a chat. It's easier if I work with someone, so just type something, enter approvers, etc. But if I type it here, so let's say myself again. Maybe call it chat approvals without attachment. Yeah, that's it. Send. And this approval appeared here in chat in channel chat window, so I can go and do something with this approval directly from channels chat. But it's assigned only to specific people, so not every team's members will be able to do something with this approval. So only people that are assigned to this approval. So that's a small change. So not every team member will be able to accept or reject, but it's visible in channels chat, so it's easier to work if you want to ask someone on chat, and work the same if I want to approve or reject directly from chat, and boom, approved, and that's it. If I click details, the same window appear with basic information about that approval. Okay, and if I go and chat maybe with John, and do the same, so 3 dots in chat options and approvals, and again I must type approver, but works the same, so I can send it directly to when I talk with someone, when I talk with maybe I'm on a group chat or one-to-one chat, it doesn't matter. I can quickly start approval process, and it will be automatically created and sent to specific people. But what if there's one small option, very important? What if I go to my approvals and start new approval request? Yeah, maybe 1, 2, 3, but this time why it's not there? Yeah, I entered external people, my business account from my company. Maybe I add some attachment, maybe number 3. Okay, so this time created I want to create approval process, and I assigned an external user, so guest user, to this approval and send. As you can see, it has been created, so it's running, or it should be running. Yeah, it's here. It's assigned to guest account, but I must open a new window to check it from my second account. And it's requested state. Okay, I will switch to my it's small window. I must switch to my. Oh, now I can't. Of course, it's here. Okay. It's from Boston. No, again, there's something here. This is my test tenant, test environment. So I will get a notification in this Teams as a guest. Yeah, as you can see, my account is here as I'm guest. But I get information, I get a notification about this approval. If I go to activity window, make it a little smaller. Okay, I can see it, and I can click approve or reject. So guests, users can work with approvals. That's great. But what happens if I click that document because someone attached it? Well, it's forbidden. 403. That's because this document is by default shared only to my organization. So if I create approval for external users, they will get notification. They can approve or reject, add some comments. Let's say external user. I can click approve. But I can't by default work with documents because this document is shared only for internal people, internal users in these specific tenants. Yeah, as you can see, offer approved. So if I go back to my main account, yeah, it's approved. That's great. So it works. You can assign approvals to guest users, but keep in mind that they won't be able to work with documents, because documents or attachments are shared only for entire organization. So if I want to share this document, I must go and share it manually. So type mail to that guest user and maybe send him this link, or do something that notify that user that he can know that he can go to that document and open, because by default it's shared only for your organization, your tenant. So that's the limitation currently. But approval works for external users, so they can approve, reject, add comments, and work with approvals. But if I go back to approvals, to this one, okay, again, I'm a guest user. What if I want to click new approval request? I can create that one, but I'm not able to assign it to anyone. So guest users can't create approvals in your tenant, in your organization. So they can only be approvers and approve, reject, but they can't create approvals in your teams. Okay, so this is the basic stuff about approvals. Yeah. So all approvals are visible from your environment or multiple environments. If you create multiple environments in your tenant, this is one stage approval. So it's approval with one approver or multiple approver. But when it's when someone approved or all people approved, it's finished. So when there's a second stage, maybe third stage, etc. So another one will be created. Files are shared to entire organization. If you want to share it with guest users, you must do this manually. And yeah, for guest users, it's 50-50. They can accept or reject. By default, they can't see files, and they can't create new approvals. So only one-way approvals. And very important, private channels not supported. What does it mean? So if I go to, because I can create approvals from channels chat, but what if I go to private channel and try to create the approval? Well, there's no such option. I can't even find that up. So it's not possible to create approval from private channel, but I think it's not a big deal, because we can do this from approval application or from private chat or personal chat. So I think it's not even so important. But those features came from first release in January, and Microsoft currently preparing new features, very important features. First one is templates. It's available in preview mode. And the second one, you can create approvals using with electronic signature at this preview stage only from Adobe. And why it's so important to create templates for approvals? Well, to work with templates and to work with electronic signatures, you must enable preview mode for your teams. So it's in the this is my, yeah, okay. So I enabled my public preview mode, so I can I'm able to get access to these preview features. So if you want to get these features, you must go and enable public preview. If you don't have this option, you must ask your administrator to and he can enable that option for you. So because I enabled the public preview, I can go to my approvals, and there is 3 dots, and click, and I can manage templates. So I can create a new template, but first stage, templates will ask you to create an administration team. So you must create that team, and then all administrators or owners of that team will be able to manage templates. So I want to create a new template. Okay, so by default there are some templates ready to use. Let's say well, item application, why not? And then I must select one of 3 options: org-wide template, assigned for specific people, or team-wide. So org-wide will be available for everyone in your organization, specific people, or of course for specific people, and team-wide, that template will be available only for a team that you select during this process. So if I go and click org-wide, now I can select icon, choose category, add some description, etc. But next stage is a little bit different. Okay, I choose, okay, right, okay. So I can design a form for this, because by default, all basic approvals, there's only a title, description, and attachment. So only 3 options, 3 fields to enter some to modify, to customize. But using this form designer, you can add multiple additional fields. I can click new. This can be a date. The date. It can be required field. I can add maybe a choice, etc. And if you are familiar with Microsoft Forms, well, this is a Microsoft Form Designer, limited to only to these 3 type of fields, but it's forms. It's based on Microsoft Forms, so it's very easy to use. Okay, and next, the next stage, next step is to select if I want, or if I require an attachment or not. Very important step. If I want to create a template, for example, for business process assigned to or dedicated maybe to some HR process, HR department, etc., I can specify approvers. So I can type people here, and end user won't be able to modify this list. So each approval will be automatically sent or assigned to these people from this list. Okay, and then responses, by default responses, or custom if I want to change it. So I can click preview mode, and my form is, as you can see, it's a little bit longer with more options, with some date field, etc. So yeah, I can publish it, and it appeared here in the template list. So if I go back and click this new approval request button, so now I can go to templates option here and select if I want to work with org-wide approvals or Teams approvals. So I use org-wide and click that item application. Okay, I must type a new title, new mouse. As you can see, I can't change approvers. So it's by default, it's hard-coded, so end user won't be able to change it. I must type some additional information designed and required from that template. So some info. Okay, I must select some date, so maybe select options, and then send. So yeah, and the rest works the same with basic approval. So it works the same way, but with additional fields and additional options selected or required that I created in the template design mode. So it's great option, great opportunity to create more advanced approvals, not only basic with title and description, but with some additional fields. And you can very important, you can assign or select closed list with people that will assigned by default to this approval, so end user won't be able to change. So there won't be a situation when someone asks for business trip and assign it to someone else, not to his manager, etc. So you can create more formal business processes and assign to your entire organization or entire team. So a Y team, you can imagine I go to manage templates and a new template. Yeah, doesn't matter type, but team. So I can assign it to a specific team, only one at a time. For example, if I want to create a very specific business approval, for example, for some specific project or maybe for internal approval for HR department, and I want that it will be available only for HR teams members. So I can do this for I don't have HR team, but well, I have PR team. Okay, so I can create a dedicated template for PR team that work with their own PR teams, and then only members of that team will be able to use that template. But what's very important, who can create templates? First, if I want to create organization-wide templates, I must be owner of this approvals app admin team. So this team, you have to create it, or your administrator have to create that team at when someone start approvals templates. So this is the first stage of working with templates. So only owners of this team can create templates for entire organization or for specific users. To create templates for a specific team, for example, for meetings team, you must be owner of this team. I am this one. This is my second account. This is not an admin account. So I'm only admin of marketing team in this account. I'll make it a little bit bigger. And if I go to approvals application, again, to templates, and I want to create new template. So if I click org wide, I can, because I'm owner of that. Yeah, that's not good. Manage team. So I will remove the John from owners. Member. Oh, come on. Yeah, this member, I will remove it completely. Great. So I go back again to my discard. Yeah, so I go. So I'm currently on the John account. John is not an owner. He isn't the owner of the admin template admin team. But I click create team, and if I click this org wide, so I must contact with admins of the approvals app team. Okay, so I can't. But if I want to create template again, but for team wide, so I can only select teams where I am owner of. So it's not so not members can't create templates for teams. Only owners of specific teams can create templates for that specific team. So this is how we can assign permissions for that for templates for approvals. Okay, and next option is electronic signature. Okay, this is also very important and very nice feature. If I go to approvals, but not as John, but as my main admin account, there's a new section in left-hand menu in approvals application called Adobe Sign. And first, I must have some account in Adobe Sign with license. I can start a free trial for 30 days. I could log into my trial account if possible, or maybe not. Yeah, done. Currently, there's nothing. But if I click new approval request, I can select request type, basic or eSign. So eSign currently only Adobe Sign. In the future, it should be more providers like DocuSign, etc. But other stuff is very similar. Some new title, description, attachment card. It's required because it's electronic signature, and I must provide email of my this one, and send. So I can create. Now it shows something. So I can create a new approval request in Adobe Sign from Microsoft Teams. So it's connected. The only thing that you must keep in mind that you have to get some account in Adobe Sign with active license to work with this feature. So if I click on this new title, yeah, so I can click this document, but this time to do something, to approve or reject, I must go to Adobe Sign page and sign it directly from this page. So I can't sign directly from Teams, but I can create approvals from Teams and monitor progress from Teams. And of course, if I get approval, I can click on it and it will redirect me to the specific page when I can do something. So it's quite a very nice feature when it's when it is available in final stage. There should be more providers. So we'll see how it ends. Okay, so that's about approvals. But what if we want to create more complex approvals? For example, we have multiple stages of approvals, and there are multiple ways. So you can go back from second level to first level, etc. So it's it's complex process, and using Microsoft 365, we can create such process using Power Automate and approval actions inside. So what about that processes and Microsoft Teams? Well, if I create a new approval process in Power Automate, this one, as you can see, this one, I use this create an approval action that start classic approval process that will send you an email message and will be available in Power Automate portal. So if you're currently using any approval process created in Flow, it works the same way. So I created some custom flow with some approval action inside. So what then? So if I create, there's my here. It's content scheduler. I quickly create a new video about approvals. I quickly this form. Okay, maybe some dates. Video. Okay. Save. So now this flow should be triggered within a minute or two and start classic Power Automate approval process. But in this flow, I used one additional option. I used a post adaptive card to Teams to show you two things at the same time. So first, let's check if it's it's running okay. So if I go back to Teams and to my approvals, great. So my flow is running. If I go to inside to this flow and to this approval action, yeah, this approval is running. So create an approval. So it was created in team, in flow, in Power Automate. So with external tool to Teams. But as you can see, I get notification in approvals application in Teams. So you get all notification about approvals from entire Microsoft 365. If you create it directly from approval application or if you create it using Power Automate, it doesn't matter. You will get notification and you can approve it or reject directly from Teams. So that's great, very, very great feature. But I used one additional feature here. If I go and edit that one, I used also send adaptive card because that's more advanced processes and you can use it if you want to assign approvals to entire team, because by default, every approval created in approvals application or in flow is assigned to someone, to specific people or to group of people. But using adaptive card, I can automatically assign it to entire team. And as you can see, this Power Automate bot sent a message to teams, and every single member of that team can approve or reject this approval. So it's more advanced feature, but it's limited a little bit, and you can't change this. Well, you can't change how it's visible, so you can't modify. You can't format this message, so it can be well, it's not pretty. That's the point, but it works for entire team. And the second option, if you want very advanced approvals but integrated with Teams. So I go back to flows and show you the second one. So this time I can post an adaptive card to a Teams channel. This is not an approval, so it won't be visible in approval application, but using this action, you can create a very custom cards that are visible in Teams and very custom, totally custom options available in Teams, but it won't appear in approval application. So it's not so cool, but it's more powerful. If I go and quickly create a new item in travels list, trip to Chicago again. Come on. Oh. I quickly. Start date and date, maybe some from Europe. It's British Airlines. Yeah, that's it. And click save. So this time, the second flow will start. And this flow sent an adaptive card message directly to Teams channel with very custom information. And it should be visible here in this channel. So let's wait a few. Yeah, running. So if I go back to Teams, and here we have this very custom message from Power Automate with some custom icon, custom formatted with some table inside, two totally custom actions. I can add more actions, 3, 5, 10, but I must put entire logic about that buttons, about that action inside my flow, but it's not visible inside my approvals application because it's not an approval. Yeah, you can find only this content. So from 5 minutes ago, so it's not visible here. But you can format it as you want, add some custom actions, fully customized, but required more work. And all logic you must create by yourself inside using Power Automate. So it's a little bit limited because not visible in approvals, but very powerful and might be useful in very complex processes or when you want to send very customized information to Teams channels, to Teams chats. Yeah, so that's the third option based on Power Automate. Yes, yeah, simple to complex, to complex approval, because in Power Automate you can create very simple approvals or very complex approvals. And if you use approvals action in Flow, then all of these actions, all these requests will appear in Teams approvals application. So that's great. And for very advanced approvals, you can use adaptive card action in Flow, or the second option is to send adaptive card and wait for response, but this time no approval action in this application in Teams. So it's a little bit limited, but you have more options to configure, to create formatting, etc., and to create custom response actions. And if there's dedicated adaptive card designer, if you want to start, if you want to play, because you must create a JSON, use JSON notation to create adaptive cards, but it's not hard to. There's designer, you can go and check how it works. Okay, yeah, on this is how the notation, how the definition of that adaptive cards look like. So it's in JSON notation, but you can use this designer to preview all your created cards. So few words, few key takeaways at the end. Dedicated application teams, you can add it as your personal application in Teams. Guest users, well, with some issues, so they can accept or reject approvals, but they can't create new approvals, and you must manually share files, share attachments with guest users. For advanced, well, not for advanced, but this approval is sent as adaptive card to your Teams, so you can make some action directly from Teams. You don't need to switch to email, to different site, different tab, etc. By default, there are assigned permissions, so you don't need to think about anything. If you want to create custom adaptive card, you can do this, but you will lose the approval feature. Yeah, private channels not supported, but coming soon. Templates, very great feature that should be available next months. Currently, it's available in preview mode, so you can go and check how it works. And as signatures currently in preview, it's only Adobe Sign available, but more providers should be available when the feature is finished. Okay, so that's all from my side. If you have any question, I must switch to my Teams to check it.
I didn't see anything new come in.
Yeah, I can't see anything here. So, but if you have any question, you can reach me on Twitter or on LinkedIn or type in the event chat. I'd be happy to answer. But at the end, go and give us some feedback about my session, about other session, and about entire event. It's very important for us to get some feedback and to deliver better sessions and better events.
thank you again for presenting. We appreciate you coming in all the way from Poland. So I know
Yeah,
it's getting late there.
Yeah, it's almost 11 p.m., but that's fantastic time. Thank you very much, guys, for your time. I'm very happy to show you some, I hope, some valuable information about approvals.